Hey Clashers, Ashlane here, coming at you today playing some Clash Royale. Look at the deck I am playing today and let's discuss it a little bit, and then I'm going to show you a couple replays highlighting its strengths and going over how to play each card within the deck. So you can see here we have the Elixir Pump, we have arrows, we have Spear Goblins, and then we have the Wizard for splash damage. We have the Barbarians, of course, along with the Golem and the Prince, and of course the Mirror. I'm calling it the Prince Mirror deck, but it seems like we have a lot of ground units, but the Wizard is such a valuable card, guys. You probably already know this by now, but if you're struggling, if you're in a rut, try sticking the Wizard into the deck that you're using, and you'll be surprised at the results that ensue. So let's go ahead and watch some recent replays here. I'm playing Family here, and it's cool watching the replays. You know, I like bringing live attacks. I mostly do live attacks for you guys, but replays, you can learn so much over what the opponent actually had in his hand at the time. It's a valuable exercise to go ahead and watch your own replays after some losses, especially. See what the opponent had in his hand and see how they played things differently than you did, and you might learn a valuable lesson or two. So I have the Elixir Pumps. I'm using the Elixir Pumps for, well, I guess the first or second time I've ever used them consistently in a deck, and I really like it in this deck because it's a pretty expensive deck, Elixir cost-wise, so that pump helps us recoup some of that lost Elixir, and this is the idea here. Getting the Golem with a Wizard behind it is really valuable. Now, I used arrows there, and I'll be honest with you guys, I've taken to using arrows a lot lately, even against troops I know it won't necessarily kill, namely Barbarians. But look what I did here. I took down that right tower using the Golemites, the Wizard, and Spear Goblins, and then I was able to sneak in that Prince on the left tower, get that almost down. So already, this battle is almost won. 2 crowns to none, and we are only, what, 70 seconds, 80 seconds into the match? Very good start for us with this deck. And you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to play things safe. No need to get overly aggressive at this point. I'm going to go ahead and make another Elixir Pump. You know, reloading those pumps when you have a lead is a great way to pad your stats per se and go ahead and hold on to that lead. So in other words, putting up more Elixir Pumps is kind of like putting up more spawning units in the spawning deck, which I love so much. So, you know, I always say if you have a lead using the spawner deck, go ahead and just keep building huts. Same thing in these type of decks. Go ahead and keep building pumps. Now, he's sneaking in a hog here, and he almost gets my left tower down, but I'm able to hold on just barely there, and now I finally drop the final Golem, hopefully, and you can see he's backed up again by that Wizard and Spirit Goblins. I sneak in a Prince, and now I have the Golem, the Prince, the Spirit Goblins, and the Wizard. I draw some arrows to soften up those defensive units, and this is going to be the game. To add insult to injury, I drop another Wizard, and there it goes. 3 crown victory. Put it in the record book. Yeah, buddy. So this is a really cool deck. Now, I didn't really use the mirror on the actual Prince card, but the idea is that the fundamentals of the deck is that the mirror gives you a lot of flexibility and the Prince gives you a lot of surprise factor. I always like having one fast card in almost all my decks, whether it be a Hog, a Prince, a Dark Prince, or even a mini P.E.K.K.A. So those would be the 4 cards that I like to have in all of my decks if possible. So try to incorporate a fast card in your deck. Even if you have a really basic deck, try putting in a mini P.E.K.K.A. because almost everybody has mini P.E.K.K.A.s. So try sticking one of those in there and sneaking it in the other lane when your opponent is low on Elixir. So you can see here he actually has the Hog, the Dark Prince, and the Prince all in the same deck here. A lot of people are playing these 3 horsemen, I guess, or 2 horsemen and a Hog, I guess. Either way. Anyway, you can see he's playing all 3, and those can be pretty dangerous. So now that I know, I've seen all the cards, so now that I know that he has all 3 of them in the same deck, I have to be very careful here because, like I said, you can definitely, with 3 fast-moving units like that, you gotta be careful. So you can see here, I'm building up Elixir. I'm trying to play from an Elixir advantage, from an Elixir. It might have been a little bit too slow there, but here's what happened in this match, and this is why I actually like putting this on YouTube, right? So he said, "Good game," that cocky little son of a gun. He said, "Good game" to me. a little taunting there, and I ignored it, and in my head I was like, you know what? I am not losing this match, and it's going up on YouTube no matter what. So he's charging at me with a Dark Prince and a regular Prince there. I drop Barbarians to try to counter it, try to slow him down. I have the Spirit Goblins in the center of the map. The Golem is over there on the left, and I see, again, I have that Wizard card ready, so it's going to be a Golem followed by a Wizard. And if I can get the Prince in there, I'll use the Prince as well. So we're waiting. He drops a Hog. Maybe he's getting a little bit greedy there because the Hog, I dropped the Prince down. The Prince takes out the Hog really quickly. I use, again, the arrows to soften up a little bit. And sometimes you can just launch arrows even before they launch a unit next to their tower. And half the time you end up getting lucky because they drop some Spirit Goblins or something quick to buy them some time on defense. So I took down that left tower. Now I'm pretty happy. You can see I put that pump actually in front of my right tower. If I'm playing from behind, I'm at a disadvantage. I'm down one tower. Sometimes I'll put a pump in front of my tower just for some added protection. So I almost actually get that King Tower down there. And look at him now. Dark Prince, Hog, and Prince all coming at me in the left. That means I'm going to have to be totally ready here, throwing down a lot of units. I mirrored up the Spirit Goblins. I have the Wizard down and just barely hold him off there. And almost took down his crown tower. He says, wow. And yeah, that was a pretty gratifying victory there, I must say. So guys, we'll go ahead and end it there. I hope you enjoy this deck if you do play it. If you don't have all the cards, check out some of my other episodes. I do have some more basic decks out there as far as strategy goes, so check those out. And thanks for watching. As always, guys, take care.
We don't play for fame, we don't play for